Hello, my name is Sydney Dennis, and my research project this semester was determining safe but effective exercise for pregnant women. This is my poster. I'm an undergraduate senior student in the Department of Health and Kinesiology at A&M. Overall, this project was incorporating women who didn't really exercise before, or maybe they did. Just really taking pregnant women and having them implement or maintain, if they had already been exercising prior, aerobic intensive exercise. There was also resistance training, swimming, lots of different methods of exercising, and they were measuring whether or not this would decrease different health risks in both the mother and the baby, and measuring the baby's weight and heart rate and all sorts of different things. And in the mother, it was diabetes mellitus, which is often seen in mothers who just give birth, and trying to track maybe what is causing that, and if bad health from not exercising and eating correctly would affect that more. The keywords for this would be pregnancy, exercise, diet, endurance training, resistance training, and health. So the introduction, the primary goal to this research is to determine the correlation of exercise intensity and fetal growth rate in pregnant women. So, as I said before, different exercise programs were implemented in these women to analyze fetal growth rate, weight, heart rate, artery sizes, just all kinds of different development characteristics. And then in the mother, they analyzed weight gain, obesity, diabetes, hypertension. Before the study, previous research kind of showed that aerobic exercise the most beneficial in reducing fetal growth rates and weight, and that mothers would not develop these risks as much, especially in comparison to women who do not exercise at all. It wasn't really determined whether or not aerobic exercise was way better than resistance training, but overall all of them did help, because of course there's just inconsistency in training and length and specific types, and very strewed lines there of what exactly is the best as far as being very specific. But the hypothesis here was that it was expected that aerobic training that lasts during the entire time of gestation versus halfway, the end half, just at the beginning, first trimester, etc., that the full length would be the best during, and especially moderate intensity exercise, and that would have the greatest benefit overall. So the materials and methods, the participants, there was 50 women in the beginning of their gestational period that were chosen to participate. There weren't really any specific parameters, as long as they were just healthy and obviously cleared by a doctor to exercise and participate here. All these women were various fitness levels, and either, they exercised every day or hadn't ever exercised in their life, and so they wanted to have definitely a various group to determine. So then the task obviously is to determine the safest yet most efficient exercise method for women who are pregnant, to maintain the best health that they can. So, the procedure, the study took place in various gyms in the area, utilizing the weight room, the cardiovascular equipment, like I said before, so just treadmills, a bike, even the elliptical. So, also a pool was used for aerobic exercise as well. The subjects were split into 4 groups. There was either totally sedentary, no exercise throughout the whole time, light intensity exercise, which would probably be just a couple times a week, and very, very light, definitely no resistance training there. Medium intensity exercise, probably a little bit more a week, and both aerobic and resistance, and then high intensity several times a week, and definitely hitting the weight room and high cardio. The participants were instructed to intend to work out 3 to 5 times a week. 3 would probably be the light, and high to moderate would be the 5 times a week. Light intensity exercisers would work out a total of 3 times per week, utilizing the pool, the bike, and very light weighted exercise, if any at all. Like I said before, the resistance training, definitely probably lowest priority there. Medium intensity group, same cardio equipment, pool, bike, treadmill, etc., and heavier weights and more frequent in the weight room. And high intensity exercise group, heavier weights more times a week, Stairmaster, more intense aerobic equipment. So then the sedentary group was only instructed to adjust nutritional intake, as were all the other groups, but no intentional working out activity was required. So educational classes were also held on proper nutrition with information on guidelines, portion control, and food safety for the newborn. Throughout gestation, women were also tested and growth rates were measured, as well as the subject's heart rate and weight. These results were used to create a trend line we'll see later to see the differences in weight gain and heart rate to compare the varying exercise intensities, and this will be compared both with the mothers and the fetal growth rates. So upon completing the study, it showed that the women who exercised moderate and high had the greatest benefits, as their results were almost identical. So this shows that exercise paired with proper nutrition during pregnancy is also safe and beneficial to the mother and baby, and should definitely be implemented. So the average resting maternal heart rate decreased 25%, as we see to the right in figure 1. From sedentary group looks about 80 beats per minute to 60 beats per minute in the high intensity working out mothers. And then the average resting fetal heart rate, the blue line you see below, decreased 16% from 60 beats per minute, as you see in the sedentary group, to about 50 beats per minute in the high intensity, which is definitely a safe range. The average maternal weight decreased 27.5% from about 180 pounds in the sedentary group, which is that blue line in the top figure 1, and to about 130 pounds in the high intensity. So that's obviously an average. Women obviously would vary in that weight, especially in the high intensity. You would expect maybe some higher weights with more muscle gain, but that's not very specifically outlined here. So average fetal birth weight decreased 40%, as you see in that red line in figure 2, from 10 pounds in the sedentary group to about 6 pounds in the high intensity group, which is a big difference. That 4 pounds actually is a huge difference there. So that would be interesting to continue studying. So the results for maternal rates showed that increased exercise intensity decreased both the heart rate and maternal weight. And so this shows that exercise reduces these characteristics that correlate with reducing other risks, such as diabetes mellitus that we mentioned earlier. And these numbers are, again, averages taken among the group, so not every woman weighed 130 pounds. Also, the trend lines are negative, so they're decreasing with increasing x-axis. So this shows that increased exercise intensity, both fetal weight and heart rate, and those decrease. So these are indicative of a baby with decreased health risks and a decreased risk for overall risks over time. The study's proven that the lower these are at the beginning, they are more likely to stay healthy overall. So numbers reported, again, are the average among the group here. So in conclusion, women who participate in regular, moderate to high intensity exercise while eating balanced and well-portioned meals will experience an overall decrease in maternal and fetal heart rate and weight, along with a decreased risk for post-gestational diseases such as diabetes mellitus. Also in the bottom right is my references that I used here. Thank you.